Hey guys, I got the Red Samurai back in the right position. We had to rotate him around the other day to get the Samurai Mog out. Anyway, been on time off, so just putting out a lot of content all at once there. I will be slacking up, probably about weekly. We'll put out a video from this point on. I just wanted to go ahead and get a backlog while I had time. In case anybody out there actually got interested in this stuff, they had a little something to watch while we get some more made. Anyway, gonna work on the fuel filler neck first on this, I believe. Kind of get that sorted out, and then we're gonna move on into them coolant lines, and then still gotta figure out the locker and a few things with the wiring. But she's getting closer. I didn't get much done since Friday on it, in all honesty. Well, I did get some done on Saturday, but I ain't got nothing done since then. So it's Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening now. So, time to get after it. Anyway, thank y'all. Hope you enjoy it. Catch up with you in a bit. Hey guys, I'm working on getting the fuel system in this. So anyway, we did like a recessed filler neck. We were going to do a nice little flap here. Flip it down, fill it up, flip it up. But anyway, I bought some fuel filler line. I was having difficulty getting it on. Tucked way back up in there. Anyway. And ran my hand around inside the tank, or inside the filler neck, which I'd failed to do to this point, which was a big mistake on my part. Anyway, the fuel tank is extremely corroded. So now I need to remove the radiator and all of these really nice Phillips head zip screws that are holding the entire rear panel in. So that's what I'm getting ready to work on. I'm going to pull out everything I've done, see what I can find. I'll probably replace all this with quarter 20 nut zerts, just because, you know, I try to avoid Phillips head on vehicles. But anyway, that's just me. So anyway guys, that's where I'm at. There's only a couple components left on the rig I haven't gone through, and something tells me at this point I might as well just rebuild it all. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Alright guys, so I got the fuel tank out. Just held in with 2 bolts. That stud back there didn't have a nut on it. So, at least it came out easy once I got the bolts out. I had to drill 4 of the self-tappers out of there. So, the radiator's going back where it was. Now, I'll probably put the battery underneath here. Get that weight down lower. I'll probably put it over here on the passenger side down low. What I'll do is I'll end up running some remote jump posts to get around that, and I'm gonna go do some homework, find a fuel cell with a remote filler neck or something I can get down in that hole. I've been looking at some to go all the way across back here by the tailgate and then box that in for storage. I'll get something figured out. But anyway guys, that's it for tonight. So lost a lot of ground. We'll see where it ends up. Hey guys, it's Wednesday evening here. We had a little setback yesterday with the fuel system. Pretty sure I got everything coming I need. So I ordered a 15-gallon RJS plastic fuel cell. I went with plastic. I think if I make some good brackets and get it mounted good, I shouldn't have to worry about cracking like I would with a lower grade aluminum one. So by my dimensions, I got 25.5 by 17.5 for the new one coming in. So that's going to fit just fine. I've got a 30-inch opening here. So I'll be able to get that back up in here. And with 17.5, it'll actually end before the body picks up. So I'm going to be able to mount it nice and low here, right inside of this hole. Don't worry about the exhaust. It is getting relocated. It's actually smashed flat right just behind this point. It's hitting the suspension links. So I'll be going to a muffler shop and getting that rotated. Probably right at the flange and dumped out and run into the passenger, or the sorry, the driver's side rocker. You just have to tuck it up in there. I've also considered cutting it back just behind where it is and putting a small muffler and a downpipe and just dumping it right there. I'd rather get it outside, so just really limited on options with that, the way this suspension's built. But anyway, I'll get that worked around. But what I plan to do is put the fuel tank in here. It comes with a large diameter plastic cap. I've ordered a shorty 1.5 inch outlet 12-bolt flange to put on it. And what I'll do is I'll route my filler hose right up through this plate here. And I'm going to route it over behind the passenger seat. And I'm going to use an 1.5 inch boat fill cap. And I'll mount it right about here. So you'll be filling it up from outside the vehicle right there. I think that will work pretty good. And I have plenty of 1.5 inch fuel filler hose already to make that work. I've also ordered new fuel line to run all the way to the front. I'm going to reuse the fuel pump. It seems good and strong. Testing it on the bench. And I've ordered some inline fuel filters. I also went ahead and ordered that 1.5 inch radiator adapter. Actually, I got 1.25 inch to 1.5 inch. And I'll put that in line here with the thermostat housing up here so I can get all that air out of the engine. That was something I mentioned in an earlier video I'd failed to order. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I think hopefully all these parts will play nice together and we can get it all to work. And we'll be that much closer. Now I won't have these pieces until the weekend most likely. So I'm going to go ahead and work on rough routing coolant lines and stuff of that nature. But this will allow me to go ahead and put the battery where I was looking at putting it. I might even be able to work the battery underneath next to the fuel cell. In all honesty, there may be room to mount a tray under there. And if I can get that done, that's going to free up. That'll lower the center of gravity, free up a little weight on that top tray. But that's still going to leave me this whole compartment open. And I'll probably just end up reusing the plate I removed. I've already got the holes mounted in it for the radiator mount, so I'd like to reuse that. And like I said, I'll just use 1/4 nut certs to remount that and get rid of all the sheet metal screws. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm trying to optimize the room here. The fuel thing was a little bit of a setback. Anyway, it's kind of what I come up with was just going with a poly fuel cell, and ordered all that from Summit today. So hopefully that comes in timely and we get this put together. And then once I get fuel and coolant to it and get the radiator reinstalled and get done backtracking, I should be able to have this running. So we've, at this time, committed to bringing both rigs down to the Dayton Off-Road Show. We went last year, had a good time. The goal this year is to bring both of them. Hopefully, well, that gives me a good deadline, so I have to finish. And should be a pretty good time. Anyway, if the weather is nasty and I can't get my big trailer out, we'll just have to pick one or the other to bring. I'll probably end up bringing this red one with us if we can only bring one. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Hope y'all are having a good week. I'll catch up with you later. Hey guys, it's Thursday night. Parts should start coming in tomorrow to get this fuel system redone. I think we're in good shape. I think we have all the supplies we need at this point. We're just down here trying to get something figured out, and we're still going to mount the headlights. And for now, I'm going to be using these little PIA drive fog lights, really. But anyway, they're pretty bright. I'll get some headlights ordered, but they'll have a similar mounting tab like this. But what we haven't been able to figure out is where we're going to mount them, because we're leaving room to go to 40-inch tires, and we need to leave plenty of clearance in there so we don't rub them or break them off with our own tire. So we're looking at alternative mounting points for them right now. We've got a few things we're looking at. We're going to wait and test them out before we show it here on video. But I got to wondering up at the house what it would look like if I took 1-inch tube and bent it over my 4.5-inch die, which is actually for 1.5 inch tubing, and used the 1-inch grip block for the end, right? So I did my first 180 bend, And I tell you what, for 1-inch DOM over 1.5-inch die, I am impressed with how little distortion there is. It's a really nice bend I got out of that bender there. So anyway, we're gonna play around a little bit. Maybe we just do an arch over to protect the headlight. Maybe we do another bend to do a full 360 around the headlight. We have plenty of this 1-inch DOM to play with. I used it for everything I needed to use it for. But if you can picture the headlight being roughly 3/4 1 inch bigger, I think it's going to fit in there pretty nice. I don't know that that's going to be a bad clearance around it. And I think it could be pretty cool. Be a little different, but I don't do many things that aren't a little different. So anyway, guys, ran into a bunch of electrical stuff last night. The further I dug, the more I found I didn't like. Again, I'm going to remind y'all, check everything before you fire off your rig. I can't find a single fuse for any of the accessories. Everything's direct wired, and all the power is tapped off the ignition switch. So anyway, like, there's a lot of stuff running on this rig without fuses or proper diameter wiring. So anyway, got a little bit more to do on the wiring than I'd originally planned, but we should be able to clean out a lot of it. I'm getting rid of quite a bit of stuff I don't like in there, and it's going to be kind of cool. I think y'all are going to like what I'm doing with the dash. Kind of keep that to ourselves for now, but we got this stuff coming. It should look pretty cool. So anyway, thank y'all, and hope you're having a good week. This is the first time I'd ever used the bender in a full 180. I've had to walk it once before when I was doing about a 120-degree bend, but it takes 3 steps to get it to rotate all the way around. So, again, I was pretty happy with how smooth it went, and I didn't have any kinking and minimal distortion. Alright guys, here we are. We needed to mount the headlights. We talked about putting them out here to the sides, but when we go full lock on the steering, they're in the way. And this is on 36s without articulated. So we went rally style. These are just zip tied in for now. I'll get them mounted and squared up. But the hoops are a little offset. Both have mar because that front fender, if you remember, I was talking about how I bowed them out. But anyway, I'll be able to square that up. We should have good protection for when we get the actual lights. I think we're going to run very similar to this. It's got the blinker and the running in the middle. And so that's the plan. And I supported them back here off of the hood there, about besides the hood. And anyway, it contours the hood pretty good. I got about ½ an inch clearance on each side. And anyway, talking with Zeppelin, this is the way he wanted. We mocked him up several different ways and ended up going this way. So we're committed now. I think once everything's painted black and we get the aluminum on, it's going to look pretty good. It's definitely different. And kind of a rally look, you know. Who knows, maybe we'll get some round lights on the top too. But I did leave room for a 36-inch single row to run right across in between the lights across the hood. It's kind of something we did on the other rig. Zeppelin really likes it. And again, that grill is crooked. It's just sitting in there braced up. I haven't fully mounted it yet. So we're still kind of playing around with a few things. But anyway, guys, it's coming together. And probably not going to work on anything tomorrow night. It's going to be Saturday before I get back on it. We've got another little party to go to tomorrow. So, anyway, guys, this is probably a wrap for this video. And we'll see where this goes. Talk to you later.